So now we've come to the part of the evening where we're going to talk more about the future and the most recent selection of Challenge Grant. Last fall, we got a number of Challenge Grant applications in, and we selected 3 finalists. They were A Student's Journey, Tucson Village Farm Pharmacy, a prescription for a healthier community, and Safe Water and Healthy Food for Native Americans. And those 3 teams worked very hard to produce feasibility studies and then presented to a judging panel, which had the very difficult task of choosing one winner. We'd like to thank our judges, Mary Greer, Tammy Barnett, Vicki Fleischer, Michael McDonald, Kathy Weissman, Greg Gadarian of the Haury Program DAF Board, Sarah Smallhouse of the Brown Foundations, Daniel Martinez III of the Vitalist Health Foundation, and Mark McKenna of Chicanas por la Casa for the all the effort and the time they put into selecting one. As I said, it was a difficult task. So now Mary's going to come up and make the announcement of the winning team, and then we will be able to hear a presentation from them.
I just have to echo what Anna said about the difficulty of choosing among these 3 teams. It was really tough. They all were terrific presentations and proposals, and because they were all so different, it made it very difficult to choose. But with that said, the winning team falls squarely within Pillar 1 of the university's priorities, as you heard them described earlier. And the winning team is A Student's Journey from Tribal College to University, led by Marty Lindsay and Daniel Sestiaga Jr. Also presenting tonight is Cheyenne Grabiak, Kyle Harvey, Vicki Hobbs, and Ben Richmond. So I hope you'll welcome them and listen with interest to their presentation.
I guess that was a sign to wake up. Hello? Can y'all hear me? All right, cool. Skaghudinik, Aniam Chigik, Daniel Sistiaga. Good evening, my name is Daniel Sistiaga, and I am from the Fort Yuma Kutan Indian Nation in Yuma, Arizona. I currently serve as the Pre-College Outreach Coordinator at Thanatam Kukut Hamashtramakud, also known as Thanatam Community College. Today I want to be able to give you a little bit of a background as why we feel A Student's Journey is a model for success, as well as a model for Native Nation building. But first I want to be able to paint you a picture. 1%. 1% of the entire student population that is currently enrolled in a 4-year degree program across the United States identify as being Native American. 1%. And of that entire student population, 0.01% are those Native Americans that will actually obtain a bachelor's degree. And even closer to home, 441 students out of 35,000 plus undergraduates at the University of Arizona self-identify as being Native American. And less than 100 identify as being all of them. Less than 100 out of 35,000 students. And we find this ironic because the University of Arizona currently sits on the ancestral lands of the Thanatam Nation, and yet it has failed. It has failed in its ability to implement any type of strategic initiative that supports a collaborative partnership between the university and the tribal college. So we feel that a student's journey will be able to, excuse me, with, we feel that a student's journey will be able to tackle a wicked problem. And we realize that a lack of a transfer pathway serves as a precursor to this low degree attainment amongst the Native American students. This has been identified as a social injustice by our key community stakeholders, where tribal members cannot take on senior level managerial positions or even tribal leadership because they lack this educational background. So this whole idea of Native nation building, a concept of growing our own doctors, our own lawyers, our own CEOs, and our own educators can never come to fruition because they lack this educational background. And furthermore, we find that community members may lack a fundamental understanding of the environmental issues that will plague their lifetime. For many generations, tribal communities have had to endure the ecological and environmental disasters in their own communities. So much so that community members may think it's the norm, and it is not the norm. Issues that stem from water contamination, air pollution as a result of mining, inadequate health care, even a lack of access to health care, inadequate education, and issues even now surrounding water and land rights. These are all issues that our students and our people are going to have to address in their lifetime. So we feel that a student's journey will be able to look at a social injustice and be able to look at it through an environmental lens and meld the two together so that our students can become advocates for their communities. They can feel empowered to take on these issues and be able to serve as environmental stewards just as they have been and as their ancestors have had been for thousands of years.
Yat she shangre ignitia Bilagana Nishla, Ani Buses Chin, Bilagana Dash Chates, and Jane Dashnella. So hello, my name is Cheyenne. I'm an outreach coordinator at the Southwest Environmental Health Sciences Center, also known as SHWEC. And so why this team? And so SHWEC is a collaborative interdisciplinary research center whose main focus is to look at how the environment affects our health. And so at SHWEC, we recognize that tribal communities have thousands of years of ancestral knowledge and wisdom about their environments, and that knowledge is valid. We've been working with tribal communities for 16 years. For 12 years, we've been working with the Tohono Nation. For 6 years, we've been working with Tohono Community College, or TOCC. And so, Tohono Community College, to give you a little background, there are 22 tribes in the state of Arizona, yet there are only 2 tribal colleges. Tohono Community College is one of those 2 colleges, and as a tribal college, they have a unique responsibility to provide culturally relevant education to their students. And to do so, students enrolled at TOCC are required to take O'odham culture and language. And so, we understand and we recognize that incorporating O'odham Imatak is vital to the student success in colleges and universities. And so to do so, through our program, we're going to incorporate the Tohono O'odham Teshoshan, or their core values. And so these are values which students are already familiar with. And so by incorporating it here at the University of Arizona, it'll help ease that transition from TOCC to the U of A. And these values include the Wohochiritak, the Apatak, the Pik Urita, and Iwumta. The program goals is to increase the successful transfer rate from TOCC to the University of Arizona to create a sustainable program design so that once Haury funding has ended, we will have funds from other sources so that we can continue this into the future. And we also want to increase the workforce readiness. As Danny had mentioned, we're going to be helping to create the future leaders of the Tohono O'odham Nation. And most importantly is increasing the sense of belonging. And what we mean by a sense of belonging is creating an environment here at the University of Arizona where O'odham students feel that they belong and where they know that their traditional and cultural knowledges are valid. I myself transferred from the University of Massachusetts, which had a population of about 14,000, yet I was the only Native student that I knew of. And so I transferred to the University of Arizona, looking for that support and looking for a place where where my cultural knowledge would be valid. And it was through Dr. Marty Lindsay and Schweck where I was able to find that.
Victoria Hobbs. Good evening, my name is Victoria Hobbs. I am Thon Autumn from Gaji District on the Thon Autumn Nation. I also hold the position of Academic Dean at Thon Autumn Kukar Hamashamakut. And in 1988, I transferred from Phoenix College to the University of Arizona. And as far as I know, I was only one of 2 students, Native American students, in the College of Education. And so when I transferred to this university, I didn't feel that sense of belonging that I felt at a smaller college or that I felt at home on the nation. And so our program design was informed by an Autumn methods, education methods of preparation, of reflection, of practice. And it's cyclical in nature that if you didn't get it the first time, you came around to do it again. And so our program design was also informed. We took those methods of educational processes and built around what is the autumn calendar year. And so our autumn calendar year begins in the Hashan Bak Mashat, which is the month of June. And it begins with the Baitach harvest, the saguaro fruit harvest. And it begins in the summer. And so in the summer, our people would start with the Baitach harvest and go through the summer. The summer was the busiest time of the year where they harvested, worked towards the rain ceremonies, the wine ceremonies, the wine feasts at the end of the summer. Our students will start an internship between their freshman and sophomore year here at the University of Arizona. They'll be freshmen and sophomores at Thon Autumn Community College. And during that time, what they will do is they will come to the university, they will work in an internship, and they will start to develop their service learning projects. Similar to what we did in the summer, we move into the fall. And in the fall, what our students will do is they'll go back to the communities, the autumn communities, and start to work in the communities on their service learning projects, using observation, using practice to work their projects. During this time, in our traditional autumn calendar year, what our people would do is they would start to prepare to move to their winter villages. We had a 2-village system where we had a summer village and a winter village. And so as we move into the winter, it's a slower time. And one of the most important activities during the winter was the storytelling. Storytelling was used as a way to pass on important information, to teach about our culture. And so what our students will be doing during this time is they will be reflecting on what they did in the summer and what they did in the fall, and completing their service learning projects, and they'll be telling their story about their journey through this program. And then spring, we're back to the quarter just before the summer starts again. And so what we do during this time, and what our autumn have done in the past, is start to prepare for another new year. And so during this time, what our students will be doing is they'll start to work on transferring to the University of Arizona or any other 4-year university. They'll start to make that preparation and plan with applications, with resumes, with all the tasks that need to be done to transfer to a university. And so during that time, with our autumn people, back to our calendar, during that time, our autumn people were preparing for another new year. And to start again with the Baitach harvest, our program will start to prepare another cohort of students for the next year.
Hello, can you hear me? My name is Ben Richmond. I'm the Assistant Director of the Community Engagement Core at the Southwest Environmental Health Sciences Center. And I'm going to go over some key components that we're incorporating into the program that we learned from our feasibility study. And in our feasibility study, we held visioning sessions with TOCC students, TOCC staff, and department managers on the nation. And what we learned from our students first is that credit was important, but not just any credit, college credit that transfers to four-year universities. So by participating in this program, each student will earn 3 units of college credit that can transfer to any in-state university. Students also told us that they were concerned about financing their four-year education. So we'll include components to educate them on where to apply for scholarships, how to apply for scholarships, and then how to manage money once you're at a four-year university. From the TOCC staff, we learned that they believed students didn't quite have that sense of belonging that we talked about before. And specifically about one component of that is just knowing U of A systems. So part of this program, students will be introduced to U of A systems such as U-Access, how to register for classes, how to pay for classes, and D2L, how to navigate and find your course content. And then what we've learned in our past programs is that by living in dorms, that increases sense of belonging. So when they complete their 5-week internship on campus over the summer, the students will live in dorms and learn to navigate the actual campus. What we learned from the department managers on the nation is that they were interested in students increasing their career and professional development. And what we are going to do to address this concern is by including the service learning projects back on the nation in the fall. So once they complete their internship in the summer, they'll come back to their community and complete a service learning project, which will further develop their professional skills and skills such as like interviewing, resume building, cover letter writing, things like that. And as Danny mentioned, historically and in the past, the U of A has lacked in its support of Native American students, specifically O'odham students. And we want to acknowledge the recent efforts by the U of A and President Robbins, who's visited TOCC and the nation. And it's evident that their support is growing in this UA strategic plan, specifically in Pillar 3, which our program addresses the institutionalized commitment to Native American advancement.
Good evening. Thank you for all your patience over this wonderful evening. I'm here to tell you about, what am I here to tell you about? I'm here to tell you about the impact, what we're expecting. So there's 4 elements of the impact. First, we want to double the transfer rate from TOCC to four-year schools. Specifically, we want to bring people, thank you, I'm sorry, bring students to the University of Arizona. We want to use the O'odham hymn dog to help the students recognize their own resilience and be able to deal with the difficulties of obtaining an undergraduate degree by really recognizing and respecting themselves. And we hope this will be a replicable model that we can share with other tribal colleges and universities who also are eager to bring students into the four-year university. Part of how we're going to do this is through a course. This course will be an environmental health course surrounding the arsenic problem on the O'odham Nation. The arsenic is very prevalent in the ground on the nation, and because of the mining, that the arsenic has been released into the water and into the air, and leading to severe health problems after especially long-term exposure to arsenic, such as living in the same community for your entire life. And so therefore we're going to be teaching them about this problem and bringing them to an understanding of how important it is to develop tribally driven solutions to the problem. And by doing that, we will impact the future leaders. I would like to really recognize this team. I'm very proud of it. These are great We've worked hard together, and I'm very proud that we have succeeded. Daniel has a master's degree in public health from University of Arizona. Cheyenne just finished his undergraduate degree in psychology from U of A and is on his way to study law and policy. Vicki has her master's degree in education and has a strong experience with research from the University of Arizona. And Ben has his master's degree in public health from the University of Arizona. Let's see. So we want to thank the Haury program for their confidence in us, and we greatly appreciate the coming funding. We anticipate at least 60 new undergraduates for the Tohono Nation to be the next generation of leaders and environmental specialists.
Oh, can we go back to our presentation? Well, really, we want to thank everybody who came out, and actually our folks who really joined us. And none of this would have really been possible without the insight, the leadership, and the perspective from all of our staff, all of our students, especially the ones that are here tonight, our faculty. All of our departments on the nation have really gave insight into what this project could really become. And so I really want to thank all of our key partners who really gave insight and really led this whole entire discussion.
And I want to thank the College of Pharmacy, which has been very supportive of all of our tribal work, and especially Dr. Charrington, who has committed the graduate students in the College of Pharmacy to help teach the course.
We're committed to another 5 years of impact through all of you. And we hope to be working with you to promote community and university partnerships to create a just and sustainable society so that the Southwest becomes an incubator for the development of scalable, socially just solutions to the environmental challenges of the 21st century. And we have a lovely place to live in 2030. Thank you all very much.